Welcome back to this week's episode of the Nebraska Prep Zone podcast. I'm Stu Pospisil alongside Mike Patterson, and geez, it's week 8 already in football and volleyball as well. The time has flown, hasn't it, Mike?
Sure. It's seems like only yesterday that we had the season opening Bellevue West Volleyball Invitational, and like you said, it's just been racing past, and we're almost coming into that home stretch.
Well, we each had some exciting happenings last Friday and Saturday. Why don't you go first and tell about the first time a ESPN live telecast from Nebraska happened in high school sports?
Right. It was really interesting what was happening at Papio South last weekend, Stu. The Geico Volleyball Invitational. It was 4 teams, including, of course, host Papio South. We had a team from California, one from Florida, one from Idaho. And they were televised on the ESPN network, so that was something really big. And Papio South did a really nice job of hosting that. Shout out to Athletic Director Jeremy Van Akron and his people. The Titans won on Friday night against Idaho. They played the team from San Diego that's ranked number 1 nationally on Saturday night. It was a great crowd. The Titans gave it a really good run. They lost the first set 25-23. They lost the next 2, also really close sets. So I think the Titans really distinguished themselves well, distinguished Nebraska volleyball well, and just all in all, it was just a really great event.
Well, between the two of us, we could have camped at Papillion La Vista South. Last week I was down there for the Metro Cross Country meet. And then a football game on Thursday night, and ended up my Friday night back there when Omaha West Side had a potentially dangerous situation with a light transformer that was housed in its men's restroom. And we had to basically play the second half at Papillion La Vista South. West Side won that game 42-14, but again, kudos to Jeremy Van Akron and to the 5 or 6 Papio South football players who were leaving the volleyball matches, were still around in the parking lot. Figured they were, I think, looking at Twitter, my tweets, and figured they were coming, or the game was coming to Papillion South. And so they stuck around and helped prepare the field and get the chains out and all that. So it was teamwork all the way around, and hadn't seen that in 40 plus years of high school coverage, and hope I never have to see that again, because it obviously was a tense situation where if you kept the lights on, the transformer might have overheated and perhaps exploded. And we'll be back there Thursday night, though. Westside comes and hosts Millard South, one of the games of the week. Millard South's now 4-3, but they've got Cam Kozo back at quarterback. They've got some good mojo, I think, with him behind center. And Westside, is coming off a loss at North Platte, a good win over Kearney. Now they play Millard South. And as far as district play goes, it doesn't impact anything because they're in different districts. But for wild cards, this is a huge win to move each of them up in the standings. So lots still at stake on that game.
Yeah, I think the Patriots, they're a little different team when Kozel's under center. So I think the Patriots are ready to make a late season run here. And is that game at Westside again?
That is at Westside.
So,
and I've heard nothing otherwise. So they must have made the needed repairs, and we'll see. They may not be able to flick the lights on and off after touchdowns, but sometimes modern technology can bite you.
They might need to get an electrician on
standby?
On staff out there, just
or at least
case.
on standby.
Because I was thinking of a couple years ago during the Legion season, they had to move a baseball game from Westside to Omaha Skutt, kind of under similar circumstances. Mm-hmm. There was a light issue, and you mentioned it got moved to Papio South. Props to Tom Kirkman, the Westside AD, for making the quick calls he needed to make, and again, to Jeremy Van Akron and the staff out at Papio South that made that move possible. And a couple years ago, the people at Skutt who made that baseball move possible. So I think it just shows the spirit of cooperation among the schools, the athletic directors, and to be able to move an entire football game to another part of the city really seems almost impossible, but they did it Friday night.
I was between the Kearney buses, and I spun out. I know the shortcut out of West Side where you don't have to go up William Street to get to 90th. So I beat the buses there, but and West Side, they didn't have a bus there. I mean, they're at home, so the parents carpooled. If players didn't have parents there, then they hopped in with other people. Paul Amanji, the coach, hopped in with another coach or two, and so they got down there the best they could, and we started again within an hour. I thought that was remarkable.
That's amazing. So when Kirkman called Van Akkeren told him, yeah, give me about 15 minutes, and he went back to the field, and as you said, some Papio South players came and helped, and other members of Van Akkeren's staff helped, and just everybody pitched in to help alleviate a really tough situation.
So, well, as we mentioned before, we've got Millard South and West Side this week, Mike. You're going to go see Prep and Papillion for probable district title matchup there. I'm going to be at 2 games on Friday. Bennington is at Elkhorn North at Elkhorn Stadium, which is a 4 o'clock matinee game. Elkhorn North 5-2. They're locked into the playoffs in their 3rd season, be their first playoff appearance. Bennington now at 20 games and rolling. Elkhorn North is going to have to bring its A game, I think, to stay with the Badgers.
Yeah, I agree, but boy, what can you say about Elkhorn North? Such athletic success already. They've only been around a few years, and girls basketball titles. The volleyball team's ranked 2nd in Class B.
They've got a golf title.
They're ranked 1st. They just moved them ahead of Scott, so they're 1st in Class B. And, the football team's doing good things. Baseball won the title, so pretty good things going on out at Elkhorn North.
No, without a doubt. And the other game also involves the North. Grand Island comes in to play Omaha North at Kinnick Stadium on Friday at 7 o'clock. GI is certainly smarting from a really bad beatdown by Elkhorn South last week, 42-3. Was that a letdown after beating Kearney the week before? I'm sure Jeff Tomlin's going to have them ready to come into Omaha North, which has won 6 in a row. The past 5 of Sebastian Circle at quarterback. Great compliment to Tyshawn Porter, their star running back, and North's lines have gotten better. I think this is one where Grand Island's going to have to probably keep North off the field itself with a ground game like they did with Kearney. Limit possessions, but it's going to be really hard to keep North off the field.
Yeah, and the Vikings are really tough at Kinnick Stadium, so like Larry Martin is going to have his team poised for a late season run too, so I think the Islanders will really have to bring it to win that game.
Yeah, they've had some good games in the past. I remember one was a district first round game, and Larry Martin remembers that because his youngest child was born that day, and he raced out to Grand Island to be with the team.
Larry's a gamer.
He is a gamer. So how about before we go into our rankings, what should people look for in volleyball this week?
Well, the big one this weekend, Stu, is the West Side Invitational. So a lot of the top teams will be there, including Lincoln Southwest, our #1 team. We'll see if the Silverhawks can prevail there. And so 2-day event, again back at West Side, but it'll be inside, so that'll be a good thing.
Hopefully they don't have a transformer inside that is affected.
I don't think they will.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that'll be the big invite this weekend. So that's the one I'll be looking for, and I'll be there for the final on Saturday.
Sounds good. And you mentioned Southwest. Southwest girls golf repeated as state champion this week at Norfolk Country Club, and kudos to them. Kudos to Omaha Duchesne. Put up some nice numbers out at Monument Shadows and Gehring to win Class B, and Broken Bow won their 3rd straight Class C titles. So congratulations to all 3. And Nicole Colbus from Lincoln Pius X, 3rd straight title, and she's going to Indiana for golf, and what a great way to cap off a career with a hug from her mom and her dad.
Since we're both golfers, I think we can really appreciate the quality of play that's going on to win those tournaments. So
it's really raised. It's deeper than it has been, and yeah, and Anna Kelly from Scotts Bluff, 66 yesterday. I can shoot 66, but then I got to play the 14th hole on in.
I can't shoot 66 at putt-putt.
Oh, yes, you can. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, back to the ratings. No changes at the top for me this week. Gretna's still number 1 in the overall top 10. Elkhorn South second, Omaha North, Omaha Westside, Omaha Creighton Prep round out the top 5. Bellevue West, Grand Island, Kearney, Bennington, the Class B leader, and Papillion La Vista South. And Aurora's right on the cusp. They and Lincoln Southwest. Southwest has Millard West this week, and although Millard West is same there at 4 and 3, they're dangerous, and that's a Thursday night game that I'd like to be at as well, but can't be everywhere.
True.
And the other top 10 leaders, Class B, Bennington, Aurora in C1, Norfolk Catholic C2, North Platte St. Pat's in 8-man 1, Howells Dodge in 8-man 2, and Potter Dix in 6-man. Mike, how about your ratings to get people set up for the weekend?
Sure. Our overall top 10, Stu, Lincoln Southwest, as we mentioned, overall number 1, Papio South 2, Elkhorn North 3, Papio 4, Omaha Scott number 5, Lincoln Lutheran, our friends from Class C2, they're at number 6, they're 29-0. Westside 7, Gretna 8, Millard West 9, and Lincoln Pius the 10th, which has really played well the last week or two, moved into the top 10. And our number 1s in each class, Southwest in Class A, Elkhorn North in B, North Bend, still undefeated, number 1 in C1, Lincoln Lutheran, number 1 in C2, Cambridge, number 1 in D1, and Shelton remains number 1 in D2.
Go Bulldogs.
Go Bulldogs.
Memory of Darryl Blue.
Yes.
Other games to watch this week include your alma mater, Omaha Roncalli against Ashland Greenwood on Friday night. McCook goes to Adams Central. Adams Central needs to pick itself up after hitting the Aurora steamroller. And then also Seward at Waverly is another good one in Class B. So
that's good. Speaking of my alma mater, Stu, I have to give a shout out to Alec Boehm, Omaha Roncalli grad, who is playing third base for the Phillies, and they're still alive in the playoffs. So how many people can say that somebody from their high school is playing in the majors? So Alec is really playing well, and good luck to the Phillies the rest of the way.
Good luck to all the teams. It's hopefully going to be a lot of long series there, and we'll just have to see. Not that I'm going to root for the Yankees at all.
And good luck to the Royals and the Cubs.
Well, in 2023. So as we reminisce about days of old, we'll take leave of this week, and we will be back here next week to talk playoff football. For Mike Patterson, I'm Stu Pospisil. See you next time.